Your Excellency, dear members of the Netherlands-Canadian Chamber of Commerce Committee, um, I'm sure most of you probably know about the Royal Canadian Legion and its branches throughout Canada, which is an organization that started in November of 1925 and became a royal ascent in 1960 by Queen Elizabeth II. What do we do? Our main objective is memorial activities. We are, of course, the guardians of remembrance, and we, in the Netherlands, we participate in most of the remembrance and liberation celebrations. And it is different from Canada's perspective because a branch in Canada does Remembrance Day, the Battle of Britain, the Battle of the Atlantic, the Battle of Hong Kong, and that's maybe one or two remembrances. In the Netherlands, the Canadians took 9 months to liberate all of Holland, and each little town in Holland has its own liberation date. And every organization of liberation in the Netherlands will ask the Royal Canadian Legion to participate. So as you were said earlier, this year we had on the slate for about 50 to 60 remembrance and liberation organizations, and all were canceled due to COVID, except a few during the summer months where we had small services done with a smaller group of people. And on the November the 11th, we even went as far with the rule of meeting with 2 people at a cemetery and laid wreaths. And we did that at the main Canadian cemeteries in the Netherlands. And at 11 o'clock, there was Bergen op Zoom, Groesbeek, and Holten. And to give you a little picture on in the Netherlands, there are 466 cemeteries in the Netherlands with Commonwealth war graves. And thank you very much. With that, there are 7,600 deceased Canadians and more than 6,347 Canadian soldiers, and the rest are missing in action. That is one of our things we do in the organization, and that is probably our 80 to 90% of our activity. Then, of course, we do education. We have a group of volunteers that go to schools and are only going an invitation to schools, because in the schools are very good educational programs. But we do support one particular school in the east of Holland, where we even have exchange students. And last year, no, not last year, the year before, we supported 3 Dutch students that went on a Canadian exchange program. The third part is the Poppy Drive, and we all know in Canada we start that in 2 weeks before November the 11th, and that money is collected separately from our operational fund and goes directly to the support of members of the Legion, veterans, and it is Canadian Forces, RCMP, and including their families, and that's where that Poppy Fund goes to. And the fourth thing, and that is our one that has been really lacking this year, is the togetherness. That would mean social events such as Canada Day barbecue, Christmas, New Year's receptions, etc. So we haven't done that, anything like that. And but however, what we're doing right now is we are having a executive group, and our executive group has connections with a board of patrons, the Canadian Embassy, our national organization, because we have a chain of command up to Ottawa. And then we have what we are working on now is a better understanding, because we can't really do anything. So we are thinking of enlarging our support base. And we were thinking of doing that two ways. Our support base, what we need is for the operational part is members and volunteers. And the other thing for the operational is Canadian awareness and public relations, because lots of times we hear, especially from out Canada, oh, we didn't know there is a branch in Holland. So that's one of the things we would like to work on. The other one is financially, and this year has been really a dumper because the Canadian Red Maple Soiree has not been run, and that is one of our major benefactors to us. But what we are doing is we are looking for donors, sponsors, corporate sponsored and private donations. And the corporate sponsors is, yeah, we will have to go out and present ourselves, but we're setting up a program in order to kind of relate this to more businesses such as your members are with. And that is basically what we are doing.